There's a reduction in resolution compared to Xbox One X.
So even the fans of Google Stadia who have had faith in this product from the beginning and who are actually interested in it are getting quite frustrated with the lack of progress and communication from Google about this whole Stadia platform. On the actual Stadia subreddit on Reddit, there is a post which is getting really popular and essentially going viral. I'll put the links to all my sources down in the description. However, it says, Stadia has officially gone 40 days without a new game announcement, release, feature update or real community update. It has been out for 69 days. It's time we demand better. Now that everyone's renewal date is approaching, I think it's time we outline the issues, borrowing from another post of mine a couple of weeks ago, and attempt to get some sort of response from the Google team that inspires more confidence than what we've seen so far. So people are frustrated, and understandably. The people who paid $130 for the Premiere Edition were basically just beta testers, as many of the features that were originally advertised and promoted still aren't available today. You can only use Stadia on Pixel phones, no other Android phones, no iPhones, just Pixel phones. And Google have said, well, you will be able to use it with iOS, and that you will be able to use it with Android phones. But Google, when? Why didn't you just spend more time developing this and release it when it's complete? Are early access games now going to be, early access Google or early access consoles? Want to use the Stadia controller wirelessly with your smartphone? Nope. Has to be plugged in via USB-C at all times. And Google tells us, well, we just want to get it right with 4K TVs and with the whole TV thing. But, why didn't you just test it before you release it like everyone else and just release it when it's fully working with absolutely all the features? So that we don't have to use USB-C or any cable to plug in our controller, like, as if we're still in the 90s. And personally, I also think it's absolutely ridiculous how you can't use it on iPhones and iOS. Now, I'm an Android guy, right? But if you release something as sort of big as Stadia, you have to make it available on all platforms at the beginning. All the platforms you told us that it will be available on from the beginning, from when you actually release it. People have spent their hard-earned money on this and have expected these features to be available from the beginning, from when it was shipped to them. But it's not. So it's basically like they were missold the whole thing, and Google have done a load of false advertising, basically. But yeah, back to the Reddit post. So then it goes on to say, so where do we stand? As expected, there haven't been any further updates in January after the 120 game mystery bonanza, other than the February Pro games, which we still don't know. Now, to be fair on Google, they have since told us what they are. I believe they are Guilt and Metro Exodus, if I'm right. If I'm not right, then just tell me. But the Stadia is still nowhere near fleshed out enough game-wise and doesn't offer enough features for them to have it compared to PCs and consoles.
Stadia is only the newest, most logic-defying, mind-bending, absurd gaming platform on Earth. Forget boxes, forget consoles, just your games, your screens, and electric air. And this electric air is Stadia. Unlike consoles, Stadia doesn't take up any space. It makes no noise. It has no smell. Watch. Go find Stadia, boy. Don't worry. You'll never find it. Okay.
Still supposedly 2+ months out until 4K on browser, any assistant functionality at all, and the true wireless controller functionality advertised. 120 games coming, but none revealed so far. Pixel phone remains the only Android phone with Stadia functionality, as I mentioned. Still no mention of iOS, still no mention at all of Stadia Base, still no mention of family sharing, still no acknowledgement that they've read and/or are listening to the community or plan on bettering their communication model. Daily updates, scrapped for weekly updates, scrapped for bi-monthly updates. So these are many things that Google have kept people on the dark in. Not to mention that they told us we would be playing games in native 4K.
Stadia likes to party. Up to 4K, 60 FPS.
And that Stadia is just so much more powerful than gaming consoles. Well, looking at Red Dead Redemption 2, that game does not run at native 4K. it's actually upscaled, so on a 4K TV, it doesn't actually look like it's in 4K because, you know, it's not, thanks to Digital Foundry for that analysis. Now, I think that Stadia would have resonated a lot better with people if they had just gone for the demographic of people who, you know, would like to just get back into gaming or get into gaming even though they don't have a whole lot of time. For example, people who have families and don't really have the time or money to invest in a PS4 Pro or Xbox One X or even, you know, a gaming PC. Maybe later down the line, if Google improved the Stadia service, which, you know, I really hope they do, this demographic of people will most likely be interested because it seems quite useful being able to just play games wherever you want with very low load times. Now, I just wanted to get onto Stadia's player count, and it's really not looking good for them, to be honest. Okay, so Forbes reported that Destiny 2's player count is on PC 494,000, PS4 454,000, Xbox 331,000, and on Stadia 19,400. Now, because Stadia had only just launched when these numbers came out, 19,000 doesn't really sound that bad. I mean, it's pretty piss poor, but it doesn't sound atrocious because, you know, maybe just the player count will increase with time as more people buy it. But no, just over a month after release, the numbers on PC, PS4 and Xbox remained pretty much the same, but on Stadia they halved, and the number is 8,020. To be honest, this is just embarrassing. Destiny 2 is a free game, so more people should be on this game than all the other games. And if that's true, it really makes you wonder how the other games on Stadia are actually doing numbers-wise. So, in conclusion, Google really needs to pull their shit together and improve Stadia. If this continues just like this, it will be dead in no time, even more dead than it currently is. I mean, to be honest, Stadia is completely dead on arrival, let's face it. So, personally, I hope Google really do improve this whole situation, and I want Stadia to work. Game streaming actually sounds like a really good idea. To be honest, when I'm not at home with my PC or my PS4 or my Xbox, I'd love to play the same games on the move. It's a really good concept, but it's just the execution and the lies and the misadvertising which has made so many people lose faith in the whole thing. But yeah, thanks for listening and see you in the next one. Peace out.